Hey everybody, Dan Sfera at www.theclinicaltrialsguru.com, where we discuss clinical trials in plain English. Once again, it's www.theclinicaltrialsguru.com, the only website of its kind. Today's topic is what is an informed consent? And this is a very important topic for clinical trials. The informed consent is probably the most important form that you will ever sign or fill out if you're taking part of a clinical trial. The other forms that you may have are like questionnaires or patient diaries, but as far as knowing your rights and letting you know what the study's about and the benefits and the risks of the study, the informed consent is kind of where it all takes place. And let me just tell you, these forms can be anywhere from 12 to 25 pages, sometimes longer, sometimes more pages than that. But what an informed consent is, to kind of keep it simple for you guys to understand, maybe some of you who have never joined a study before, don't be intimidated of the length of these things. There's basically three important things every informed consent has that you should know. And everything else is just detail, and you can ask the study staff or the study doctor for more information about those details. But the three most important and basic characteristics any informed consent will have is, number one, a brief explanation of the study. That means the purpose, what they're looking for, maybe how many volunteers are needed for the trial, what the potential benefits and risks may be, what are the known side effects, what have other people complained about from previous studies, what have been some of the adverse events that they've found, and what they're looking for in the study, what the purpose of the study is. The second basic characteristic of an informed consent deals with the IRB. So there they'll have a number where if you feel that you're not getting adequate attention, or maybe your safety is not being looked out for as you feel should be, there's a number for an IRB, which is an institutional review board, and they're in charge of kind of monitoring safety. So they'll have their number there. They'll also have the number of the study doctor, the study staff, and an emergency line, like a 24-hour emergency line for after hours. Maybe the research clinic is only open from 9 to 5. They'll have a 24-hour emergency line, or a doctor's pager, a coordinator's cell phone number, something along those lines that you can reach somebody at any time. And finally, the third basic characteristic of any informed consent is your rights. And this kind of spills over from the IRB section, but your rights. It lets you know that you can withdraw at any time. It lets you know that you're part of a study, that there are other treatments available besides clinical trials. So, and it kind of lets you know that clinical trials is not medical treatment, but it is a study where they actually collect data. So it kind of lets you know that what you're participating in is completely voluntary. You can withdraw at any time, and there are alternative treatments for your condition, so you're not forced. You shouldn't feel like you're forced to join a clinical trial, or that maybe a clinical trial is your only alternative. So those are the three basic elements of any informed consent. Now, that's a 4-minute video, and an informed consent process usually takes about 45 minutes, where they're going to go over every single page with you. And then another thing I should add here is, whenever a little change is added to the protocol, let's say instead of 8 visits, now you need 9 visits because they need to do an extra blood draw, they have to redo the entire informed consent, and you're going to have to re-sign the entire thing if you want to continue. Even if it's something as insignificant as an extra blood draw for visit 9, you're going to have to sign all those pages all over again. And so an informed consent is kind of an ongoing process. And as they may find, as the study progresses, they may find new risks or new benefits that the investigational product has, and they may have to add that into the informed consent. So then you'll have to sign those forms again. So these are some of the things that every informed consent will have, regardless of what study you're in or what type of trial you're in. 3 basic characteristics: the scope of the study, your rights, and contact information such as the ethics committee in charge of the study and your study doctor's info and 24-hour lines and emergency lines, things like that. So don't be intimidated by the length of these forms. That's basically what an informed consent entails. But love to hear your thoughts. Perhaps you think something's missing. Let me know. www.theclinicaltrialsguru.com. Thanks.